The time is 3 a.m. You have finally managed to do a full loot run of Launchite without running into any groups or grubs. And just when you think you're safe, Bradley appears out of nowhere, shoots his rockets and his machine gun at you, and kills you for all of your hard-earned loot. You find yourself back at base. You're dazed and confused about the events that just took place, and you're upset about the fact that you just spent 45 minutes looting a monument to die to a stupid NPC tank. But instead of looming over the past, you decide one thing. You want to get your revenge on the Bradley APC that roams Launchite all day long. What's going on, everybody? My name is Smokesy, and today I'm going to be talking about the best ways to take Bradley in Rust in 2021. The first thing I'm going to do with you guys is quickly go over the different callouts within Launchite. The first building that you'll want to become familiar with is known as the Recycler building. This building is important because it's one of the most common places that Bradley is taken from. The next building you want to become familiar with is known as Mammoth, or it's also often referred to as opposite Recycler because the building itself is adjacent to the Recycler building. The third building you'll want to know is often referred to as Old Elite, and this building is important because it provides a very wide coverage over the entirety of Launchite. The fourth building callout you'll want to know is referred to as Cobalt, and it is located directly adjacent to the Old Elite building. Another building callout that the majority of you will already know is referred to as Main Building, or it's also often referred to as the Red Card Building. The last major building callout that you'll want to know is referred to as Airfield Tower or Airfield Building, depending on which structure you're referring to. The next callout that I would recommend you become familiar with is Green Room and Triple Silos because you'll often find players crouching around these locations. Another good callout to know because it's very central to Launchite and it's located right outside of the main building is Single Silo. Now the next two callouts are often referred to as mounds, but I like to provide them with individual names so that when you're calling them out to your teammates, they know exactly where to look. And these are called green mounds and ticket mounds. Now the last callout that I want you guys to know about are the radio towers around Launchite. You'll have to use another reference point when calling these out, but they can provide an aerial view over Launchite and are very important to check from time to time. Now that I've taught you the primary callouts within Launchite, let's jump straight into the methods that most people use in 2021 to take the Bradley APC. Now the first method that I'm going to be talking about is the most commonly used method by players today, and it's often referred to as the HV rocket method. Now this method requires one rocket launcher and at least 7 HV rockets, however I recommend bringing a couple more in case you miss one or two. Now the second method I'm going to talk about is the F1 grenade method, and this requires a minimum of 40 grenades, however I recommend bringing more because you're bound to miss quite a few. Now the third method I'm going to be talking about is known as the C4 method, and this requires 3 timed explosive charges. Now there are a couple uncommon methods that people use to take Bradley which I do not recommend you use, but these are 40 satchel charges, 571 explosive ammo, 11 normal rockets, 191 bean can grenades, or 82 40mm HE grenades. Now that we've talked about the different types of callouts within Launchite, and we've also talked about the different types of methods that are used in 2021 to take Bradley, I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the most common locations players use to successfully take Bradley from, and I'm also going to tell you the methods that are most successful in these respective locations. So the first location I'm going to show you is the ticket booth location. This is one of the most commonly used places to take Bradley in 2021. So you're going to make your way to the ticket booth by running either through the inside or the outskirts of launch site. Try to avoid Bradley during this time. However, once you're inside the ticket booth itself, the glass cannot be shot through, so it's a relatively safe place to sit. So the first method I'm going to show you for the ticket booth location is the HV rocket method. This method is probably the most commonly used method by players today for this location. And all you're going to do is you're going to quick in and out of the ticket booth, shooting your HV rockets one by one until you hit Bradley 7 different times. The reason why you want to peek in and out very quickly is because if you take too long to peek, Bradley will have time to shoot rockets at you, and because you're in an enclosed space, they can kill you very easily. Now the second method I'm going to show you for this location is the C4 method. This method is doable and it's very easy to do, however it's much more expensive than the HV rocket method, so I wouldn't recommend using C4 on Bradley. However, what you're going to do if you choose to use this method is, again, you're going to quick peek in and out of ticket booth, and when Bradley is close to you, all you're going to do is throw C4 onto the tank itself a total of 3 times. Now the second location that I'm going to show you is the recycler location, and once again this is one of the most commonly used places to take Bradley by players today. So the first thing you're going to want to do for this location is you're going to want to actually position yourself on the roof of the recycler building. Once you've gotten to the roof, once again you're going to bait Bradley over to your location, either by shooting at him or by just getting in his visible range so that he can aggro onto you. Now the first method I'm going to show you for this location is the HV rocket method. It's important to be very careful when HV rocketing off of the roof because you don't want to accidentally clip the edges and kill yourself with an HV rocket. Now the second method I'm going to show you for this location is the F1 grenade method. This method is more difficult than the HV rocket method, however it is possible to do it without taking any damage from Bradley. The best way that I've found for completing this method on top of a roof is by alternating between 2 different sides of the roof, hugging the edges, and throwing the grenades down from angles that are unreachable by Bradley as shown in the video you're watching now. Now the final location I'm going to show you in this video is the airfield tower location. I personally like this spot because it's very easy to protect your Bradley loot from multiple angles. Now the first thing you're going to want to do, just like the recycler building, is you're going to want to position yourself on the roof of the airfield tower building. I wouldn't suggest trying to take Bradley from the tower itself because it's very difficult to find a good position within the tower to take Bradley from. Now the two methods that I would recommend you use from this location, once again, are the HV rocket and the F1 grenade methods. I've already walked you through how to do these methods from the roof of the recycler building, and the airfield tower building is the exact same way, just in a different position of launch site. And that marks the end of this video. I want to thank everybody who's checked this video out, and I hope that it's helped you in your adventures of taking Bradley in Rust. Now, if there's other Rust tips and tricks that you would like to see, please comment down below what they are, and hopefully I can make videos on those soon. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have an awesome day.